do you make of it?
Well, for me, it's like a statesman giving out, his views about what transpired between himself and, somebody he deemed that he will, respect or took the mantra from where he stopped. That is, Dr. Samura Kamara, whom he gave all his support to, and you can even listen when you listen to, the former president. He said, we have so many people who have, the qualification more than Dr. Samura Kamara. He even mentioned his cousin, for him to become president. He refused all of them. He gave his support to Dr. Samura Kamara. But at the end of the day, what I saw in the video is like betrayal. My brother is just denying the fact that, but that's the honest part of what the former president was saying, that he was not expecting, Dr. Samura Kamara, with all what transpired, within the 2023 elections, what came out, the oppositions were saying they were not taking part, in governance. All of this were made within the executive. So for Dr. Samura Kamara to go and have, discussion with the president, it's, it went, for them, that was not their thinking. Okay. So for me, it was dissatisfaction from the president expressing that. So what I thought was the former president thinking that Dr. Samura Kamara should not have discussion with the president. Why? Or what the former president think for this country to be in quagmire? That was what I thought, because he was in, leadership. At a point after 2012 elections, we saw where this president now have some discussion with him. He was calling President Bio to do certain things, even do the cause of Ebola. So why is he raising this concern about Dr. Samura Kamara not to have discussion with, the president? That is my point.
Did he categorically say that?
When you listen to the discussions, like we have the tripartite, they were saying APC or the parliamentarians should not take part in governance. So that was the stalemate for the country to stand still.
Can I respond
and in that case, I want to see where the former president will say, no, we don't want this. Condemn the act before, not now. So all what you're saying is like he was expecting this country to go down the drain. That is my point.
Yes. I beg to differ. The former president did state, if I am elected leader and flag bearer of the APC, I did not take myself to run for an election. I was elected or selected by a certain political party. After an election, if I want to meet with the incumbent president because of certain inadequacies, with all due respect to Dr. Samura, what I have tried to do is to keep the balance. We are responsible to holding, equal rights of our membership in the APC. Yeah, we are the egalitarians. But it was appropriate for Dr. Samura to have sat with members of the executive, not EBK, but to have discussed details before meeting with President Bio. That is just appropriate. I cannot just wake up one morning after contesting an election without sitting with the
expecting, the former president to be an elderly state person, not only for the APC, but for the country as a whole, where even the SLPP, if they are going wrong, they can come out. We saw, in fact, one of the statements made by him, I will go back and say, and that statement for me, I don't want to take that for granted, like where he said, Dr. Samura Kamara did not consult the executive. Betrayal, blessed memory, when they announced the 2007 election results, that the former president now, Dr. Kuruma, wants the election, he did not consult his party. He took upon himself, took the phone and called the former president and congratulated him. I think that's the leadership. That's what we're expecting.
You think he was not being a leader?
For me, for the former president to say, Dr. Samura Kamara did not consult because of the reason. We all knew exactly what was happening within Sierra Leone. For you to, tell your parliamentarian not to take part in governance, do you know what that means? And Mikhail, you know exactly the rationale behind that. So for me, let's condemn, in fact, the act.
Who told the politicians not to participate?
Of course, the APC. They told their...
Wasn't it a unitary decision within the party?
Well, it is unilateral, but for me, it was wrong in that direction. Go to the parliament and discuss the issue there. Okay. We knew exactly the outcome of our elections. 2007, we saw exactly when they announced the result. They cancelled 477, polling stations at the stronghold. But we saw exactly the outcome of Betrayal. Okay. So make the country peaceful. Yes. So that was what I was expecting as a state person.
Would you also say now to pick up a phone and send a congratulatory message is actually different than meeting in person to have a discussion?
Well, for me, I think what Dr. Kamara did, I'm not his spokesperson, he did well for the peace and tranquility of Sierra Leone. For the peace and stability of Sierra Leone.
Would it have been okay as well to have brought the party along?
There was no way, because we saw exactly, we heard from Mohamed Bangura, who took upon himself and went to parliament. Because they tried to bring them together. They refused to accept the proposals. So for them, they want to make the country stand still, not governance to run. We don't want to see that in Sierra Leone as a democratic nation. That's my point. And the public is expecting former President Nkrumah to be an elder state person, even as we speak. What I was expecting, I was there when they announced the 2018 election. He said, I'm going to wash my hands from politics. Internal politics, I'm going to wash my hands. But for him to carry the mantra, leader and chairman, and he still carry the pride, that's the pride in him, that's the ego in President Nkrumah. He should leave that. Let's take Sierra Leone comes first.
You think he's egoistic?
Of course, that's the egoistic of President Nkrumah. We need to say this. That's the egoistic of President. President Nkrumah did not make himself. It's the election that made him a president.
I wish to respond.
Would you also want to say, at the point, let's come back to Dr. Samuel Kamara, when he might have met with, the executive. Now, without bringing the party along, is it that he didn't trust